Hi, I'm Tony Northrup, and for chapters 3 and 6 of my book, I want to tell you about using a remote flash. By taking your external flash off camera, you can get studio lighting effects on the cheap. So you'll need a little bit of extra equipment. The cheapest way to get into it is to use what they call an off-camera shoe cord. These shoe cords aren't expensive at all, but they have a limited reach. And if you get a longer cord, there's a good chance somebody's going to trip over it. For that reason, this type of cord is primarily used by wedding photographers who happen to use a bracket to allow them to move the flash from horizontal to vertical positions. A better solution is to get a wireless shutter trigger. These triggers from Cowboy Studio will only cost you about $30. You connect one to the flash and one to your camera, and anytime you push the shutter, the flash will fire. These cheap versions are a little bit limited though. First, they're not completely reliable. They'll flake out sometimes, and they might even break on you. So they're not good for professional use, but that might be okay for amateur use. Second, they don't communicate all the what they call the ETTL information from the flash to the camera. So your camera might not be able to auto-expose your flash correctly. That means you'll need to manually adjust the flash up and down. If you're comfortable doing that, it's actually a great way to learn, and it's something I prefer anyway. If you have a little bit more in your budget, you can upgrade to a PocketWizard system. PocketWizard is the system that I use, and the system will cost you about $450, maybe $500 for both the transmitter and the receiver. However, they're completely reliable, and they work just great. So to demonstrate how you can use off-camera flash, I'm going to start by taking a picture of Chelsea there without any flash. Note that I'm using a remote shutter trigger, which allows me to trigger my camera without actually standing next to it. This will allow me to move around with the flash. This system only costs about $30. You can get an off-brand one for that. I've had great luck with it. So I'll fire that first picture. That's without any flash at all. Not a bad effect. Now we'll try it with an on-camera flash. The on-camera flash look isn't bad, but it's really common, and it's very flat. It adds a catchlight to the eyes, but it also hides a lot of the detail in the face, and doesn't bring out, say, the cheekbones in a portrait. You can make that much better by taking your flash off camera. The first thing I'll do is I'll take a picture with Chelsea, and I'll hold the flash just a little bit higher than it would normally be, so you can see the difference. I think that's already a much more pleasing effect. But as long as you've got the flash off camera, you can walk anywhere with it and check out the difference between side lighting, backlighting, or any other type of lighting that you want. I'll walk around now and take a few different pictures so you can see the variety of different effects that are available. You can see the wide variety of effects just by moving the light to different places around the model. I want to show you one more trick. We'll move to a wider angle shot of Chelsea, and I'll show you that you can remove yourself from the photo. So that this allows you to stand closer to the model, making the light brighter and a little bit softer. By adding those two layers in Photoshop later, we'll be able to remove you or your light stand from the picture. So first a shot without me in the picture. Now I will move into the frame so I can light Chelsea directly with the flash. By using multiple exposures, we can add those two pictures as layers into Photoshop. Then, using the eraser tool, I can simply erase myself from the picture. It's an old photographer's trick. It actually happened in the film days using multiple exposures. This was for chapters 3 and 6 of my book, Stunning Digital Photography. If you liked it, please click subscribe up above so you can see new videos that I make, and click like down below. Check out my Facebook page, Tony Northrup Photography. And remember, when you want to take portraits, don't just take it, make it.